You know that feeling when someone texts, "We should hang out soon," and your stomach drops? Not because you hate them, but because now you have to perform excitement you don't actually feel? Yeah, that's not social anxiety. That's not depression. That's your brain telling you something the world doesn't want to hear. You're actually happier alone. And if you're someone who's turned down plans not out of fear, but out of genuine preference, welcome. This is going to feel like someone finally put words to something you've felt your entire life. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who love staying home, the ones society calls antisocial, but neuroscience calls something most people will never understand. Here's what nobody tells you. The world is built for extroverts. The promotions go to the loudest voice in the meeting, the birthday parties, the networking events, the "you only live once" culture that treats staying home like you're wasting precious time. But here's the thing they don't say. Some brains aren't wired for that game. Psychologists call it optimal arousal theory. Your nervous system has a sweet spot, a level of stimulation where you feel most alive. Extroverts need more. Noise, people, chaos, that's their fuel. But your sweet spot? It's lower, way lower. Every conversation, even with people you love, every event, even the fun ones, pushes you past your limit. And home isn't where you hide, it's where your nervous system finally stops screaming. But there's a second layer most people miss. A 2019 study from the University of Buffalo found that people who prefer solitude don't just tolerate being alone, they actually enter a psychological richness that social situations can't provide. Their brains light up differently, more activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for deep thinking, creativity, self-reflection. Staying home isn't doing nothing, it's where your brain does its best work. That idea you had at 2 in the morning, that clarity you get after a solo Saturday, that's not laziness, that's cognitive optimization. And let's talk about control, because this is where it gets real. Out there, you're constantly adapting to other people's energy, to sudden plan changes, to small talk with strangers who ask how are you but don't actually care. But at home, you control the temperature, the lighting, the noise level, the exact amount of human interaction you can handle. For people with high sensitivity or anxiety, that's not luxury. That's the difference between surviving and actually living. When your space is calm, your mind follows. It's not avoidance, it's architecture. You've built an environment where your brain can finally breathe. Now here's the part that matters. Some people stay home because it fills them. Others stay home because leaving feels impossible. One is peace, the other is a prison. So ask yourself honestly, do you stay home because you genuinely want to, or because anxiety whispers that you're safer inside? Because if it's trauma, if it's depression telling you there's no point, that's not preference, that's something that deserves attention, maybe even help. Know the difference. But if you're someone who cancels plans without guilt, who feels genuinely alive on a quiet evening, who'd rather rewatch your comfort show than force yourself into moments that don't fit, listen, you're not broken, you're not missing out, you're just wired for depth over distraction, for meaning over motion. So tell me, do you actually love staying home, or have you just been told you should want something else? Comment below, and if you're ready for psychology that explains you better than you've explained yourself, click the next video. It's about the type of person you are when no one's watching, and trust me, you need to see this.